Corruption is often widespread in developing countries. Corruption negatively affects a country's democratic and economic development. When fair competition comes to a halt, prices rise and investments and growth fall.
We are poor not because we don't have the resources. We have both the human and material resources, but corruption is virtually stealing everything.
The gap between rich and poor widens, and civil rights come under pressure.
Corruption, whenever touches each of the components of our living life, you feel it.
But why and how does the spiral of corruption continue when the consequences for society are so big? Corruption is culturally and structurally based. Corruption is possible when no one questions the system.
As a child, you are taught to obey. You can't ask some questions. You only listen and take instructions. An adult is always right, or somebody above you is always right, or even if somebody knows what is going on, he or she will still keep quiet. I'm like, oh, this doesn't concern me, because that attitude is one of the reasons why we really have a problem in this country.
Like many African countries and former colonies, Ghana is a young democracy.
Man har en meget stærk loyalitet over for sin egen familie og sin udvidede storfamilie. Og den kan være stærkere end den loyalitet, man føler over for en stat. Man oplever ikke nødvendigvis, at staten er vores allesammens, og det er vigtigt, at vi alle sammen bidrager til, at den kan levere de serviceydelser. Hvis den underforståede kontrakt mellem stat og borgere ikke er der, så agerer folk anderledes i forhold til offentlige midler.
Particularly in the emerging democracies, corruption siphons money that is otherwise meant for public goods into private pockets, and the nation suffers the consequences.
If a society lacks the structures necessary to hinder corruption, it's particularly easy to gain power and wealth. Transparency is necessary to control the flow of finances in society.
Yeah, there's no transparency in our systems. Almost all the contracts have confidentiality clauses, and these are not contracts that are of security nature. They won't compromise national security in a way, but they have confidentiality clauses.
The press in Ghana has difficulties in producing critical, investigative work for the public.
We also don't have the Freedom of Information Act in this country, so it becomes very difficult for even journalists to get information from state officials. The system is so opaque, no openness, so it becomes very difficult when money changes hands.
The lack of integrity and morale with individuals in the public sector and the elite leads to bribery and fraud.
So it compromises free and fair elections. It compromises credibility of elections. And once elections are compromised, it impacts on governance. You gain power through corruption. It means definitely you are going to allow corruption to manifest in your administration.
Ghana has many laws to prevent corruption, but it is rare that perpetrators are punished.
Rigsrevisionen, den ghanesiske rigsrevision, laver en rapport hvert år, hvor de ret minutiøst gennemgår deres konklusioner for alle offentlige institutioner, og de nævner hver eneste gang ting, som er tydelige korruption. Jeg kender ikke til, at der har været nogen form for retsforfølgelse af et eneste af de tilfælde, som deres egen rigsrevision, der laver et udmærket stykke arbejde, har dokumenteret.
When breaking the law has no consequences, the spiral of corruption continues.
People do it, they go in, come out and still benefit from their corrupt acts. But if it's deterrent enough, if the sanctions are severe, I feel that it will stop, people will think twice.
The practice is people are afraid to blow the whistle because they fear they may be victimized. Also, we have a culture where people are not punished for corruption.
The fight to combat corruption and develop a modern democracy continues. The authorities have established a number of laws against corruption.
We crafted the internal audit law. We also did the financial administration law. Then we did a whistleblowers law. We did a public procurement law because, as I've indicated, so much of our resources are allocated for the procurement of goods and services.
The internal audit institution has been strengthened to optimize control and efficiency within the administration.
About 22 key government agencies are represented in what they call the High-Level Implementation Committee for the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan. Yes. In terms of strengthening the public financial management system, it's also ultimately aimed at anti-corruption activities. And in fact, we are tagged as one of the anti-corruption agencies. And in the National Anti-Corruption Action Plan, which has been put together for the country, we are a key partner in that enterprise. So is GII and other civil society organizations.
Civil society organizations and media support the government through public awareness and as a critical observer.
For instance, we have a project currently being sponsored by USAID where we hope to let citizens understand how corruption affects them individually, and that we believe will motivate citizens to desire leading the process of demanding accountability at the local level, which could also translate to the national level.
Often in corruption cases, only the tip of the iceberg is visible.
And this was a program that was set up in 2006 to tackle the youth unemployment in the country. So people were finding ways of stealing money into their private accounts. So I decided to start with the investigation. It was only about, the amount involved was about $11,000. But at the end of the day, when I finished the story, the whole money involved in that scandal was $500 million US. The government came in and set up a committee that did an investigation, further probe into it, and it virtually confirmed what we had done.
The international society is supporting the fight against corruption with aid and advice. United Nations, the World Bank, Transparency International, and Denmark are all supporting Ghana.
We've published quite a number of manuals with the assistance of the World Bank, the Commonwealth. Danida helped us with software and some of the training as well. So we get a lot of help from others and also from the government.
Danida has several developing projects in Ghana. But how does one prevent developing aid from misuse?
Vi bruger en rigtig stor del af vores arbejdstid på at følge de konkrete projekter. Vi får årlige revisionsrapporter for alt, hvad vi laver. Vi sætter også med jævnlige mellemrum en anden type revision i gang, det vi kalder value for money, hvor vi kigger på, om der er givet de ydelser for pengene, som var aftalt.
The fight against corruption gets special attention.
Jamen, vi synes, at når vi taler god regeringsførelse i det hele taget, så er det et meget vigtigt element i det, at vi bliver ved at presse på for, at opfattelsen af korruption også ændres. At det ikke er bare sådan noget, man gør, og som er legitimt, men at det er noget, der er skamfuldt, og som skal bekæmpes, og at man tager penge fra nogen, typisk fra dem, der har allermindst, og giver til nogen, der har meget.
You know, this shouldn't be a battle for any single group, any particular group. We all need to stand against corruption to make sure that the redistribution of all what we are having as a national asset should be well distributed and benefit all the people.